I'm working on auditioning quilting patterns for Dylan's wreath, and I find Procreate useful for doing that. So I've loaded up a photo of one of the blocks. There are 12 blocks. And part of the issue is that it isn't really a square block in itself. I've added these filler strips because I have it spinning around this center block, which means it's not going to be perfectly square in that sense. So I have been looking at patterns on Wasatch Quilting, which I love their patterns. They have great stuff, and I'm auditioning them. Just basically doing tracing and putting them on the block to see how they're going to work, because you can't just put something the same size on there. If it doesn't fit in with what the pattern is, then it's kind of not a good look. So I've done a couple of them. The first one that I did, I'm pretty sure that I want this pattern on it, which is this kind of swirly leaf thing. It's originally a border print, and it's just this quarter up here, a border pattern. And so I'm going to, in order to make this a wreathy kind of thing, then I have to duplicate it 4 times, rotate it, and all of this will have to be done in editing software. And I really like that. But then I've got this center space to fill in. So it needs to be kind of a pointy thing. Not really a square, because that would leave some of this space in here unquilted, or with not enough quilting to really match up with the density of the quilting here. One of the things you want to do when you're quilting is to try to match the density as best you can. Otherwise, it's the quilting isn't going to look even, and it will distract the eye as it's moving around. So anyway, I need to find something for this center bit here, which is the center of the wreath. So first of all, I tried this, which is okay. I like that all right. With the pattern, it had some other stuff in the corners here, which I had to take out because they didn't fit and I didn't really like them there. So that would have required more editing, which is fine. But then I went in search of some other patterns, and I haven't tried them all yet, but I think I may have found what I want. So in the center instead, I think I want to do this leaf pattern, which I think is really in keeping with the theme of the wreath for the block, and I just really like it. It's kind of subtle, but it's still leaves and in a wreath sort of fashion. It is actually just this quarter block, 2 leaves at a time, and again I guess it's 3 leaves, sorry, 3 leaves. And again, I have duplicated it and rotated it so that it makes a wreath sort of thing. Then I still have the issue of what I'm going to do up here, and I've tried a couple things there. I think in the end what I'm going to do is just a simple line pattern, which will help it to sort of recede into the background. So I'll do it fairly close together, not so close that it's much denser than the rest, but so that it sort of recedes in the background, and what you really see is the wreath pattern. So I'm pretty happy with that, and bear in mind that I'm not going to be using dark gray thread when I'm doing it, so it will be a subtle texture thing. Probably will do it in a cream that matches the background on here. It's a very light cream. So that's my adventure for this afternoon.